Hi, Kim here. Northern California, Olive City Oasis. I know is super bright, so I'm probably all washed out, but that's not important. I just wanted to come on early this morning to remind you all of how valuable your garden or just nature in general is for your mental and emotional well-being. We all know this. We know that when we get out in nature, we feel better in so many ways, but still, sometimes I think people get so busy, me included, that we don't spend enough time outside in nature, outside in our gardens, just enjoying them. Working is fun too. I enjoy working in the garden, but just enjoying it. And if you can combine the two, like I did last night, watering in the evening when it was cool and shady, that was just bliss. I get on here to say all this because yesterday I had quite a surprising day. I had watered my entire veggie garden and as well as my orchard the evening before. So yesterday morning I came out and really all that was on my agenda other than taking care of all the animals was watering my patio plants, my little seedlings, really not much at all. And after I had done that, I was just sitting in the garden enjoying it with a cup of coffee when suddenly my son, my 24-year-old son, who had been playing with my border collie, he started screaming. He had been about to come down the ladder from the roof where he'd been fetching a frisbee for the dog, and as he got onto the top of the ladder broke. It just collapsed. Not because it wasn't set up correctly, it actually broke. Yeah, so it was a sturdy ladder. We've used it successfully for many years, and my son is experienced with climbing on ladders and climbing on roofs, and he's in construction and freight and things like that. He's strong and careful. It was just a malfunction of the equipment, an accident. Although I will say, anytime you get on a roof or somewhere else where you're not tied in for safety, there's always a risk, isn't there? So he fell, and I will say he's okay. But when he fell, he was quite vocal, and I was quite vocal. And I was, I'm not wiping tears away, by the way, although it was sad at the time. Scary more than sad. It's bright out here. My eyes are watering. Sorry. But yeah, I yelled too quite a bit as I ran toward him. So my neighbors, which out in the country, they're not right next door, but they heard me and they came running and stuck their head over the fence to offer help. But yeah, he fell. He did not crack his head open. He did not break his back. He's not paralyzed. So, it could have been much worse. It took us about 10 minutes to figure out that he was okay, completely okay, and yet could not get up. So we called an ambulance, and they came and carried him to the hospital half an hour away. And I spent the day there with him. Got there, I think we got there about 9. It happened around 8:15, and we spent 7 hours in the ER where they quickly, within an hour or two, found out what was wrong with him. He has a broken pelvis, as well as, bruised ribs, sprained wrist, big cut on his eyebrow, but mainly a broken pelvis. Now, it is stable, meaning the fracture is only on one side of the pelvis, so they don't have to do surgery, unless complications develop during the recovery, but they should not. Kind of like with broken ribs, a one-sided broken pelvis that's stable, they just say, go home and get better. But they kept him overnight for observation, for pain management, because he's in a lot of pain. And then today they're going to be helping him learn how to use a walker where he's not putting any weight on his left side, and somehow he's doing that with a sprained left wrist. Yeah, so I'm heading back to the hospital as soon as visiting hours happen, because they transferred him to a private room yesterday around 3. And so I'll be back there at 8 this morning. And again, that watering last night was so wonderfully relaxing and refreshing and calming. And yet it also was accomplishing a purpose. So this morning, all I've got to do is water my little seedlings before I head off to the hospital. So I got up a little extra early this morning so I could go out in the front in the orchard and amongst my flowers and just enjoy the calm and peace that comes with being in nature. And you can do that too anytime you want. You don't have to wait for some accident to jar you into the realization you want to spend more time doing that. During the summer, when it is super hot here, and it's supposed to get to 106 or 108 today here in the afternoon, I stay indoors from about 11 a.m. until about 6 p.m. if I can help it at all. But early in the morning and later in the evening, I still have that time when I can refresh my soul and calm my mind, and so can you. Let nature do its job. It does it better than just about anything else can. If I really want to feel peaceful, I simply come out in the orchard early in the morning. It's about 6 a.m. right now. And this pluot tree, as you can see, is full of pluots. Sound of birds in the air, cool breeze. Not much more peaceful than that. All right, that's all I have to say today. So get out there, enjoy nature, and happy gardening.